straight from the heart of East Tennessee. This is 10 News at 5.
And welcome back to 10 News at 5. I'm Beth Haynes. Think back to the first digital camera you ever saw or owned. It probably seemed revolutionary at the time. Well, today we would consider it clunky and slow with poor picture quality. Our smartphones could probably snap a better shot. Well, now digital photography produces top-of-the-line images. There's a host of options for the amateur, the point and shoot, and the experience, the DSLR, with lenses and lights galore. Cameras are constantly changing with new features. Tonight, we're looking ahead to the future of digital photography. And for more on what we can expect, we are joined by our tech expert, also a very accomplished photographer, Dan Thompson, joining us now from Claris Networks. And first of all, let's talk about this. From a photographer's perspective, is this a good thing?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. This is, you know, it's just a natural progression of technology. New features, new functionality always comes out. What's interesting is that cell phones were chasing cameras for the longest time, and now it looks like cameras are going to start chasing cell phones. So the technology, maybe one day we'll just have one device, and that'll be it.
Well, let's talk about some of the features that you're going to start seeing on these cameras.
Yeah, absolutely. So what is interesting is a lot of the high-end cameras are now starting to have some of the functionality like Wi-Fi. So now I can take a camera, or excuse me, take a picture with my camera, use my phone as the middleman, and then shoot it straight to Facebook or whatever. And that's like as high quality image as you can get. Also things like GPS, so you can upload it to sites like Flickr, and people can see exactly where you took the shot. And it's just kind of a neat little add-on. So maybe one day in the future we'll see 4G enabled cameras, which would be awesome because then you don't need your phone as a middleman. So lots of neat functionality like that, and maybe you know, there's a couple of cameras that are out now that have the Android operating system on them, so you can have apps that run on your camera. So lots of neat stuff. Yeah,
really could be down to just one device.
It could be. It would be kind of awkward holding a DSLR up and making a phone call.
Well, let's talk about some of these features you're already seeing, but when can we expect all of this to be mainstream?
Well, that's a great question. So it seems like the higher end cameras are a little slower to take all this stuff on. The older photographers who have been around for a while, and people like myself, we kind of like to separate some of this stuff out a little bit. But as the consumer levels get more and more popular, it seems to kind of move upstream to the higher end cameras.
Okay, another change we could see is something called light field photography. Explain this to us.
Okay, well, so now this is very, very interesting. So what the light field camera does, there's one manufactured by Litro. Essentially what it does is when it takes a picture, literally everything is in focus. So if you look at photography and just pictures in general, you'll notice that some stuff is generally in focus, some stuff is out of focus. The photographer makes that choice. What the Litro camera allows us to do is the viewer now makes the choice. So you'll take the image, upload it to their website, and then you can click around in the image and choose what's in focus. So it kind of takes some of the artisticness and hands it to the viewer instead of the photographer. It is crazy, very neat. Wondering if it's going to be a gimmick, I'm not sure, but it's definitely fascinating technology. There's a whole lot of buzz around those cameras.
It makes it a little more interactive for the viewer.
It definitely does. It definitely does, and you can kind of, it's almost like you're kind of peeling away the pieces of an onion, and you can kind of see different parts of the image. It's very, very neat. Of course, it has to live online. If you want to print those out, you have to choose what's in focus, and then, you know, send it out the door. So a little bit of a limited shelf life on those things, but we'll see how it takes off.
Also technology that actually focuses the shot after it's taken. Explain this.
So essentially, you know, you get home, you look at your camera, and for whatever reason it grabbed focus on a twig instead of the deer you were trying to take a picture of. That's kind of a common problem if you're not paying attention. And what that Litro allows you to do is if you get home, everything was in focus, so you can just select the deer, and then that's what's in focus first. And then if you as the viewer want to look at the twig, you can.
So you can choose that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's talk about the pixels on camera. Each new model seems to have more pixels, which impacts, of course, your image, but also the video as well, the high-def video on your smartphone. So what's the new standard going to be?
Well, as far as the pixel race is concerned, that just keeps climbing out the roof, really. Every new camera camera has a new higher pixel count, and then basically what that equals is you can blow these things up to just enormous sizes. What the next line of video is going to be is a technology called 4K, and what that is ultra high def. So if you thought your new TV was all you're ever going to have to buy, think again. In a couple of years, we're all going to have to upgrade to 4K. So that's what it's called. That will start filtering into cameras probably in the next couple of years, maybe. We'll see. People are just now getting used to the idea of being able to shoot high def on their camera. So ultra high def is going to be yet another thing, and get ready to pull your wallet out.
It's going to be pricey indeed.
I'm sure.
All right. Thanks so much. We always are glad to see you on the show.
No problem.
All right. And coming up next, the power of the season. Next, a man who served his country is now serving his community. We'll tell you how generosity left dozens of people trying to pay their bills speechless. And while we're paying attention to the football coaching search, the basketball Vols are on the road again tonight. We're going to have a preview.